Hello, my name is Lisa Feldstein. I'm a health and fertility lawyer in Ontario, Canada. And in this video, I want to answer the question, what does a surrogacy lawyer do? And although we do a variety of things, they can pretty much be boiled down to two main tasks. The first task is dealing with the surrogacy agreement, and the role of the lawyer will depend on who their client is. The lawyer who's representing the parents-to-be will give advice to those clients and will usually be the lawyer that actually drafts the agreement. A lawyer for the surrogate, on the other hand, will read the agreement, talk to the surrogate about it, give her advice, usually propose some changes, communicate with the other lawyer, but ultimately is there for the benefit of the surrogate and ensuring that her rights and interests are protected and that she understands her obligations and rights through the surrogacy process. So kind of part one is the surrogacy agreement. Usually that results as well in a letter going to the fertility clinic once it's been signed, but everything relating to that part one is the agreement. Part two is usually toward the end of the pregnancy, and the work will depend on the jurisdiction. In some parts of the world, some of the steps can actually happen before a baby's born. Other parts of the world, like where I am in Ontario, we really have to wait until after the birth to take action. But basically, part two of what surrogacy lawyers do is help ensure that the right people get on the birth certificate. The process can be a little bit different. In some provinces and states, a court order is actually needed. And so the party's lawyer will go to court for them to get an order declaring or stating that the intended parents are legally the parents and the surrogate and her partner, if she has one, is not a parent. Other places, like where I am in Ontario, Canada, that court process is not required. And instead, it's simpler paperwork that gets filled out, and then we can proceed and get the birth certificate. So part one, surrogacy agreement. Part two, go through whatever legal process is involved, but essentially part two is help get the right names on the birth certificate. There are some parts of the world where that isn't possible, and the surrogate's name will actually remain on the birth certificate. So that's one reason it is so important to speak with a surrogacy lawyer to confirm in advance of a surrogate becoming pregnant, to confirm that the right names will ultimately be on the birth certificate and not the surrogate's name. So I hope that you've learned something new, and I'll see you next time.